Hello, Midnights. We hope you enjoy our stories. Next, Project Serpo, a journey to the stars or a modern myth. Let us know where you are listening from, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Within the sprawling landscape of ufology and conspiracy theories, few narratives capture the imagination quite like Project Serpo. This intricate tale, which surfaced prominently in 2005 through a series of anonymous email leaks, describes an alleged secret exchange program between the US government and an extraterrestrial race known as the Ebens. While compelling in its intricate detail, it remains firmly in the realm of unverified claims, serving as a powerful lens through which to examine public fascination with the unknown and deep-seated distrust in official narratives. The core of Project Serpo centers on a purported exchange initiated in 1965. According to the narrative, a meticulously planned series of events led to this unprecedented mission, its genesis tracing back to the foundational 1947 Roswell incident. In this pivotal event for ufology, a crash-flying object in New Mexico, officially explained as a weather balloon, was widely believed by many to be an extraterrestrial spacecraft. Project Serpo lore claims a surviving alien from this incident, cryptically identified as EBE-1, not only survived the crash but also allegedly cooperated extensively with US authorities. This cooperation, vital to the story, involved EB-1 providing crucial insights into its species, technology, and home world, effectively acting as an interstellar ambassador and setting the stage for direct interplanetary relations. Following this initial engagement, which President John F. Kennedy purportedly set in motion in the early 1960s, a massive alien spacecraft from the Ebens home world, Serpo, supposedly landed at a designated site within the Nevada Test and Training Range in 1965. This landing was allegedly part of a pre-arranged exchange protocol, signifying a deliberate pact between two civilizations. 12 highly trained US military personnel, 10 men and 2 women, specifically selected for their intellect, physical endurance, and psychological stability, and rigorously trained for an unknown deep space mission, then embarked on an extraordinary journey to Serpo. The journey itself, allegedly taking only 9 to 10 months to cover 39 light years, would have involved travel methods entirely unknown to current human science, pointing to advanced alien propulsion that defies conventional understanding of space-time, potentially employing methods like warp drives or wormholes. Once on Serpo, the human team allegedly lived for 13 Earth years, which corresponded to approximately 10 Serpo years due to the planet's different orbital period and rotational speed. During this extensive period, they purportedly immersed themselves deeply in Eben culture, society, and technology, observing their daily lives, social structures, and scientific advancements. The Ebens themselves are described as sentient, gray-skinned humanoids shorter than humans, generally around 4 to 5 feet tall, with large heads and prominent dark eyes, often lacking discernible ears or noses in the human sense. Their skin is typically depicted as gray or light brown, and they are said to be hairless. A striking aspect of their biology, according to the narrative, is their vocalization, described as clicks and guttural sounds which the human team painstakingly learned to translate. Despite their advanced spacefaring technology, their home-world society is portrayed as relatively primitive and agrarian, focusing on sustainable living, collective well-being, and scientific curiosity, rather than industrialized growth. They reportedly lived in small, scattered communities, not large cities, and their primary mode of governance was a collective, almost hive mind-like consciousness, making individual decision-making less pronounced than in human societies. Serpo is depicted as a harsh world, orbiting a binary star system in Zeta Reticuli, featuring 2 suns that create perpetual daylight with no true night cycle, only periods of dimming. This intense solar radiation resulted in extreme heat fluctuations, often reaching well over 100 F around 40 C, making surface exposure dangerous without protection. The planet's atmosphere was thinner than Earth's, composed of different gas mixtures, and its higher radiation levels compared to Earth would have necessitated specialized environmental suits for the humans and likely induced significant biological adaptations, leading to fatigue, skin conditions, gastrointestinal problems from the alien diet, and other health challenges, all of which the expedition commander's alleged diary chronicled in detail. The terrain was largely flat and desert-like, with limited vegetation resembling red or yellow plants and few mountains or oceans. Despite this arid environment, the Ebens had developed technology to access underground water sources and grow their food within enclosed structures. Their architecture was described as simple, functional, and often blending with the natural landscape, composed of natural materials. In return for hosting the human contingent, the Ebens reportedly gained profound insights into human civilization, culture, and scientific understanding, which was conceived as a two-way learning experience designed to foster mutual understanding and perhaps even technological exchange. Tragically, 2 astronauts reportedly died on Serpo due to the alien environment and health complications, a stark reminder of the mission's inherent risks. One perished from a pulmonary embolism early in the mission, while another died later from complications related to a fall. 2 others, by choice, allegedly opted to remain on the alien planet, a poignant detail that adds both realism and a profound sense of personal sacrifice to the narrative, suggesting some found a new home and connection with the Ebens. In 1978, the remaining 7 men and 1 woman returned to Earth, bringing with them a vast untold amount of information, including thousands of pages of journals, detailed photographs, films, and extensive scientific data collected during their arduous mission. Post-1978, the returning team underwent extensive debriefings by various U.S. intelligence agencies, culminating in an alleged 3,000-page report known as the Red Book. This wealth of information, along with purported artifacts like the Yellow Book, a supposed holographic universal history provided by the Ebens, was allegedly classified at the highest levels of government, secured within compartmentalized special access programs to maintain absolute secrecy. The story finally gained widespread public prominence in late 2005 through a series of anonymous emails from an alleged retired Defense Intelligence Agency DIA official, posted on a UFO email list, sparking immediate and intense debate and controversy within the global ufology community by claiming to reveal details of this unprecedented, top-secret operation. The highly classified Project Serpo remained entirely unknown to the public for decades until its alleged existence was dramatically brought to light in late 2005. The method of its disclosure was as unconventional as the story itself, a series of anonymous emails sent to a prominent online UFO discussion forum. The individual widely credited with facilitating this leak was Victor Martinez, a respected moderator of the UFO Thread List, a popular email discussion group frequented by ufologists, researchers, and former government personnel interested in the topic of unidentified flying objects. Beginning in November 2005, Martinez received a series of emails from an individual who identified themselves only as anonymous. This individual claimed to be a retired, high-level official from the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, who had been privy to the Serpo project. Anonymous stated their motivations were deeply rooted in a sense of civic duty and a desire for humanity to know the truth before their own life ended, driven by the conviction that such monumental information could no longer be withheld from the global populace. They claimed to be part of a larger group of 6 individuals, a mix of current and former DIA employees, who had collectively decided that the American public deserved to know the truth about humanity's interaction with extraterrestrial life. This group, often referred to within ufology as DIA-6 or SIN or simply the anonymous source, ostensibly made a calculated decision to release information piecemeal, fearing that a sudden full disclosure would overwhelm the public, cause societal panic, or lead to a global crisis. The initial emails contained tantalizing fragments of information about the exchange program, including details about the Ebens, their planet Serpo, the rigorous selection and training of the human team, and logistical aspects of the journey. As the email exchanges continued over several months, Anonymous provided increasingly detailed accounts, including purported excerpts from the expedition. Commander's diary, vivid descriptions of the technologies, flora, fauna, and cultural aspects observed on Serpo, and even alleged daily routines of the human team. The information was delivered in a gradual, drip-feed fashion, building suspense and allowing the ufology community to absorb and debate each revelation. The sheer volume and specificity of the data, including alleged lists of equipment taken on the mission and medical reports, were cited by proponents as compelling evidence of its authenticity. This gradual release was perceived by some as a strategic move to prepare the public for disclosure without causing widespread disruption. However, this method also immediately led to an internal split within the ufology community, a camp of strong believers who saw it as irrefutable proof of alien contact, and an equally vocal camp of immediate skeptics who questioned the anonymous nature, the lack of hard evidence, and the convenient timing. Beyond the initial email leaks, other alleged Serpo-related materials have surfaced over the years, though their authenticity is also highly debated. These include purported grainy photographs of Ebens or their spacecraft, alleged fragments of official-looking documents, and even purported audio recordings. While these additional materials have further fueled the narrative and deepened its perceived layers of secrecy, they have also often been cited by skeptics as easily fabricated, adding another layer of controversy to the already complex story. The leak transformed Project Serpo from a whispered rumor into a widely discussed and debated phenomenon within ufological circles, becoming a cornerstone for those advocating for complete government transparency regarding extraterrestrial contact. Project Serpo exemplifies a particular brand of conspiracy theory, one that involves high-level government secrecy surrounding extraterrestrial contact, a topic of paramount and enduring interest to ufologists. Its enduring appeal lies in its detailed narrative, which taps into deep-seated human curiosities and anxieties, but more importantly, fuels the persistent, often passionate belief in a profound disclosure that the public is not only owed but actively denied by clandestine government agencies. This narrative fits seamlessly into a broader landscape of alleged hidden truths about UFOs, like the majestic 12 documents or claims from whistleblowers like Bob Lazar regarding reverse-engineered alien spacecraft at Area 51, all pointing to a deliberate, multi-generational policy of concealment. Central to the Serpo conspiracy are several key tenets that mirror broader patterns in UFO and government conspiracy narratives, and directly engage the ufological pursuit of truth. The government cover-up is the bedrock belief. Ufologists, captivated by Serpo, contend that the U.S. government possesses definitive proof of extraterrestrial life and ongoing contact, but actively suppresses this information from the public. This idea is not only fueled by historical events like the initial official denial regarding the Roswell crash, but is also reinforced by the very nature of classified projects like Serpo. For many ufologists, the absence of official acknowledgement is not a sign of falsehood, but rather the ultimate proof of an effective cover-up, a calculated deception to control society, prevent panic, or hoard power. According to the theory, potential reasons for this extreme secrecy range from avoiding mass hysteria and potential religious upheaval, to maintaining technological superiority over rival nations, to preventing widespread societal collapse, or even to protect humanity from a perceived threat from other, less benign alien species. They view the alleged 3,000-page debriefing and the Red Book as tangible evidence held hostage from humanity, believing that full disclosure would fundamentally alter human civilization, ushering in a new era of understanding and technological advancement. This belief often manifests as intense pressure on government entities for transparency, with many ufologists dedicating their lives to uncovering these alleged hidden truths, seeing it as their moral imperative. The narrative of advanced secret technology is equally compelling for disclosure advocates. The theory suggests that the government has either gained access to or is actively reverse engineering advanced alien technology. For example, anti-gravity propulsion, zero-point energy solutions, advanced medical techniques derived from the Ebens. This technology, if real, would revolutionize human existence, offering solutions to pressing global energy crises, enabling unprecedented interstellar space travel, or even providing cures for intractable diseases, yet it is allegedly kept from the public. Ufologists often speculate that its suppression represents a grave disservice, allowing elite factions to maintain immense control over resources, power, and the direction of human progress, ensuring their continued dominance and financial gain at humanity's expense. The concept of elite knowledge and control resonates strongly. The Serpo theory posits that a small, unelected group within the government or military holds exclusive knowledge about humanity's place in the cosmos and its interaction with alien species, operating entirely beyond democratic oversight. This fosters a pervasive sense of disempowerment among the general public and deep suspicion towards authority, breeding theories of a shadow government or deep state operating beyond public accountability. Ufologists, often feeling on the periphery of mainstream scientific and governmental discourse, see themselves as striving to break this control and bring the truth to light, passionately believing that humanity has a fundamental right to know the full scope of its cosmic neighborhood and destiny. Finally, the reliance on whistleblower authenticity is a common and crucial feature of such conspiracies, especially for ufologists. These individuals, like the anonymous source behind the 2005 Serpo leaks, are presented as brave insiders risking their careers, freedom, and even lives, facing potential official retaliation or professional ruin, to reveal suppressed truths. This lends a powerful moral authority to their unverified claims, bypassing traditional media and scientific scrutiny and offering a tantalizing glimpse into what ufologists believe is the real story. The very existence of such a detailed narrative, even if unproven, gives concrete form to the abstract idea of a secret alien program, providing a focal point for disclosure advocacy and reinforcing the conviction that the truth is indeed out there, hidden by powerful forces. These tenets resonate deeply with segments of the population who already harbor distrust in official narratives, feel marginalized by mainstream institutions, or are simply fascinated by the possibility of profound secrets hidden from plain sight. For many ufologists, Project Serpo is not just a story, it's a piece of the larger puzzle, a potential fragment of the long-awaited disclosure. However, it's also important to note that even within the ufology community, Project Serpo remains a divisive topic, with many prominent researchers and organizations expressing significant skepticism due to the lack of verifiable evidence and the highly speculative nature of the claims. This internal debate reflects the broader struggle within ufology to balance compelling narratives with rigorous evidence. The narrative of Project Serpo, while fantastical, intricately weaves in the involvement of real-world political figures to lend it an air of authenticity and underscore the alleged high-level secrecy. Within this complex web of claims, two United States presidents play a particularly crucial role: John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan. President John F. Kennedy, JFK, is depicted as the initiator and architect of the Project Serpo exchange program. According to the leaked narrative, the groundwork for this unprecedented human-alien interaction was laid following the 1947 Roswell incident. The surviving alien, EBE-1, allegedly provided critical intelligence over several years, leading to the establishment of a formal exchange protocol. The story claims that it was in 1962 that President Kennedy, deeply concerned by the implications of the Roswell crash and the potential for a misunderstanding or conflict with advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, made the momentous decision to formalize this exchange. His directive purportedly set in motion the meticulous planning and selection process for the 12 U.S. military personnel who would eventually travel to Serpo. JFK's alleged involvement is crucial for several reasons within the narrative's framework. Firstly, attributing the project's genesis to a sitting U.S. president, especially one as historically significant and enigmatic as JFK, immediately imbues the story with immense gravitas and perceived legitimacy, suggesting such an extraordinary undertaking could only have been sanctioned at the very highest level of government. Secondly, JFK's presidency was marked by a fervent push for space exploration, the Moonshot Challenge. Placing the Serpo initiative within this period allows the narrative to align with a historical context of ambitious, secret technological endeavors and a forward-looking vision for humanity's place in the cosmos. Lastly, for many conspiracy theorists, JFK's assassination remains a focal point of government secrecy and alleged cover-ups. By linking him to a project like Serpo, the narrative subtly taps into existing theories about his untimely death potentially being connected to his knowledge of or involvement with extraterrestrial matters, further deepening the layers of intrigue and alleged government suppression. The implication is that he was a leader willing to push boundaries, even those of interstellar diplomacy, making his involvement seem plausible to believers. President Ronald Reagan is the other key political figure mentioned in the Project Serpo narrative. His role comes much later, after the alleged return of the 8 surviving members of the Serpo expedition to Earth in 1978. The story claims that after their extensive debriefings and the compilation of the Red Book, the 3,000-page report detailing their experiences, President Reagan was thoroughly briefed on the entire Serpo project and its findings. Specific purported excerpts from President Reagan's diary or briefing documents have even been cited by proponents of the Serpo story, allegedly showing his reactions and thoughts on the profound information presented to him. Reagan's alleged involvement is significant because, firstly, his briefing confirms that the Project Serpo intelligence was not a one-off event, but remained classified at the highest levels across multiple presidential administrations, reinforcing the narrative of a continuous deep state cover-up. Secondly, Reagan was a popular and influential figure, and his alleged awareness of such a monumental secret would, for believers, serve as further proof of the project's reality, even if still unconfirmed by official channels. The idea that a conservative, strong leader-type president like Reagan was privy to alien secrets adds a specific flavor to the conspiracy, appealing to a broader political spectrum than just the liberal associations of JFK. Finally, Reagan's briefing in the early 1980s implies that the government continued to analyze the data and potentially maintained contact with the Ebens or other extraterrestrial entities well into the latter part of the 20th century, setting the stage for ongoing secret programs. It is crucial to reiterate that the roles of both President Kennedy and President Reagan within the Project Serpo narrative are entirely unverified and originate solely from the anonymous leaks that comprise the Serpo story. There is no independent corroborated evidence from official archives, historical documents, or other credible sources to support their alleged direct involvement in such an exchange program. Their inclusion serves primarily to anchor the fantastic narrative in real-world political history, lending it a deceptive sense of credibility for those predisposed to believe in deep government secrets regarding extraterrestrial contact. Despite this strong narrative appeal and its deep resonance within the ufology community, the overwhelming consensus among scientists, historians, and mainstream government officials is that Project Serpo is not credible. The conclusion that it remains a modern myth, rather than a factual account, is based on a rigorous examination of the available information against established scientific principles and stringent standards of evidence. Critics often assert that it is pseudoscience, with the most prominent objection lying in the scientific implausibility of the claims. The idea of traveling 39 light-years in a matter of months flagrantly contradicts fundamental laws of physics as currently understood, particularly Einstein's theory of relativity, which unequivocally posits that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. There is no accepted scientific model that supports such faster-than-light FDL travel, and to propose it without any testable framework pushes it firmly outside the realm of legitimate scientific inquiry. While proponents often counter that alien technology is simply beyond our current understanding, this argument, while convenient, remains unfalsifiable and falls entirely outside the realm of testable scientific hypotheses, thus rendering it scientifically untestable and unverifiable. Many also dismiss it as a hoax or elaborate fantasy, pointing to the story's anonymous origin, total lack of verifiable sources, official documents, or independently confirmed physical evidence. Its details, while extensive, often align too perfectly with existing UFO tropes, like the Zeta Reticuli link or the Roswell tie-in, leading critics to strongly suggest it's a meticulously crafted piece of fiction designed to appeal directly to existing beliefs within the ufological community, perhaps even borrowing elements from previous alleged alien encounters. Though believers might argue the story's consistency and volume of detail suggest authenticity, history shows that elaborate hoaxes can indeed be highly detailed and internally consistent, specifically to lend an air of veracity and capture public imagination. Furthermore, for a project of such magnitude, involving a 13-year interplanetary exchange, the complete absence of any independently verifiable physical evidence, such as specific technological breakthroughs demonstrably linked to alien tech, confirmed independent witnesses who broke silence without clear incentives, or declassified documents from multiple corroborating sources, is a profound red flag. The argument that it's secret because it's real is a logical fallacy often employed to dismiss the legitimate burden of proof, effectively making the claim impervious to disproof, and thus unscientific and unproductive in any serious investigation. Lastly, critics argue that sensational and unproven stories like Project Serpo detract from legitimate efforts to investigate unidentified anomalous phenomena (UAP) using rigorous scientific methodology. By blurring the lines between credible investigation and elaborate fantasy, such narratives can make the entire field of UAP research appear unserious or purely fringe, ultimately undermining genuine scientific inquiry and public acceptance of factual UAP discussions, often leading to legitimate skepticism being conflated with outright denial of unexplained phenomena. Project Serpo's emergence and appeal are deeply rooted in historical trends. The post-WUI era and the Cold War 1947 to 1991 fostered an atmosphere of intense secrecy, technological competition, and widespread distrust. This environment allowed the concept of black projects and hidden government operations, including secret alien exchanges, to become deeply ingrained in the public consciousness, making such stories inherently more believable and providing a familiar framework for their acceptance. Coinciding with humanity's ambitious push into space, the idea of an alien exchange during the space race, for instance, President Kennedy's alleged initiative in 1962, a pivotal moment in American space exploration characterized by bold aspirations, would have resonated deeply with a public looking skyward, eager for humanity's next frontier and primed for tales of cosmic discovery and potential alien collaboration. Moreover, the story's dissemination via anonymous emails on a UFO mailing list in 2005 highlights the transformative role of the Internet. The digital age provides an unprecedented platform for alternative narratives to spread with unprecedented speed, bypassing traditional media gatekeepers and fostering niche online communities, where such theories can take root, be discussed, and flourish among like-minded individuals, often reinforcing pre-existing beliefs through self-selected echo chambers and specialized online forums. This phenomenon is not unique to Serpo. It mirrors the enduring appeal of other detailed alleged alien contact narratives like those surrounding the Dulce base in New Mexico or the purported details of the Philadelphia experiment, all feeding into a collective fascination with hidden realities. The reception of Project Serpo varies significantly across cultures and backgrounds. In Western cultures, particularly the U.S., its origins in American UFO lore and Cold War narratives ensure strong resonance. Themes of government secrecy and alien contact are deeply embedded in popular culture, creating a receptive audience for such tales, especially among those who already harbor distrust in authority figures and institutions. This engagement is often amplified by psychological factors such as cognitive biases, including confirmation bias, where individuals selectively interpret information to fit their existing beliefs, and wishful thinking, where the profound desire for confirmation of extraterrestrial life makes narratives like Serpo incredibly compelling. Conversely, individuals with strong scientific or academic training, regardless of cultural background, overwhelmingly categorize Project Serpo as pseudoscience. Their methodology demands verifiable evidence, peer review, and falsifiability, all of which are conspicuously absent in the Serpo narrative, leading them to focus on logical inconsistencies and the lack of empirical data. Some cultures with stronger skepticism towards conspiracy theories, perhaps due to different historical experiences with state power or a stronger emphasis on empirical reasoning in public discourse, might be more immediately skeptical, viewing it as purely entertainment or a niche Western phenomenon. Lastly, societies with rich histories of belief in non-human entities, such as spirits, gods, or mythical beings, might interpret aliens differently. The concept might be integrated into existing spiritual frameworks, or conversely, dismissed as outside their traditional understanding of the cosmos, as the idea of otherworldly beings might not carry the same novelty or specific implications as it does in some Western contexts, potentially making alien narratives less impactful or interpreted through a different cultural lens, often blending them with existing mythologies and folklore rather than a distinct scientific possibility. The sheer narrative power of Serpo, a meticulously crafted story, resonates deeply because it taps into universal human archetypes: the perilous journey into the unknown, the quest for forbidden knowledge, and the heroic whistleblower challenging an oppressive secretive power. This psychological resonance often outweighs the lack of verifiable facts for many adherents. The short and long-term implications of Project Serpo, while not rooted in factual events, are significant in how they shape public perception, influence various industries, and challenge the fundamental relationship between citizens and their governments. For individuals, particularly believers, Project Serpo can offer a profound sense of understanding about humanity's place in the universe, a thrilling secret shared, and a powerful foundation for a worldview that includes sophisticated alien interactions. This acceptance can be influenced by cognitive biases like confirmation bias, where individuals favor information that confirms their existing beliefs, and wishful thinking, where the desire for alien contact makes the narrative more appealing. It also fosters a strong sense of community with like-minded individuals who share a common vision of a concealed truth, providing a shared identity and purpose. For dedicated ufologists, it provides a tangible, albeit unproven, narrative that directly aligns with their pursuit of government disclosure, serving as a compelling rallying point for their advocacy and a detailed blueprint for what they believe is being hidden from public view. Skeptics and non-believers, however, might view it as harmless entertainment, a waste of intellectual energy, or as concerning for its potential to spread misinformation and erode critical thinking skills, making it harder for individuals to distinguish verifiable facts from speculative narratives in an increasingly complex information landscape. For the general public, the story contributes to the broader cultural fascination with extraterrestrial life and the unknown, subtly shaping their views on what might be possible, even if they don't fully subscribe to the narrative. In the business realm, Project Serpo provides rich source material for authors like Len Kasten, whose book Secret Journey to Planet Serpo further popularized the story. Documentary filmmakers and creators of fictional series or films directly supporting creative industries, whose very business model thrives on compelling, even if unproven, stories. Its speculative nature allows for great creative freedom in storytelling, often inspiring science fiction works and entire subgenres. While not a direct driver, the general appeal of UFO conspiracy theories, bolstered by stories like Serpo, indirectly contributes to the niche market of UFO-themed tourism, as seen in places like Roswell, New Mexico, or around Area 51, and the sale of related merchandise and memorabilia, creating small specialized economies around these narratives. Academic institutions and publishers, while not treating it as factual history, might study it as a phenomenon within sociology, folklore, cultural studies, or the study of misinformation, analyzing its cultural impact, its mechanisms of spread, and its role in shaping public beliefs and perceptions of reality. For governments, especially intelligence and defense agencies like the DIA, being the alleged primary party in the exchange means such stories often lead to persistent public inquiries or demands for disclosure, which can be a recurring nuisance even when consistently denied. While the primary function of these agencies is national security, the constant pressure from such narratives diverts valuable resources and attention from other priorities, sometimes requiring official statements or even the creation of dedicated UAP investigation offices like the Pentagon's ARO. Such narratives can also potentially be exploited as false flags or misdirection by agencies to draw attention away from other, more sensitive operations, though this remains highly speculative and unproven, a common suspicion within the conspiracy milieu itself. More broadly, the prevalence of detailed conspiracy theories like Project Serpo contributes to a significant decline in public trust in government transparency and official statements. This erosion of trust can be seen as a direct consequence of real-world historical government secrecy, for example, COINTELPRO, Watergate, revelations about illegal surveillance, which creates a fertile ground for suspicion and skepticism, making it profoundly challenging for governments to convey factual information or gain public cooperation on unrelated critical issues, as a segment of the population becomes predisposed to disbelieve official pronouncements, regardless of their verifiable basis, leading to increased civic disengagement, distrust in science, or even radicalization against established authority. While unlikely to directly influence government budgets for mainstream scientific research, the continued noise from sensational claims can indirectly impact where resources are allocated for legitimate unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP, investigations, requiring agencies to carefully distinguish between credible, unexplained phenomena and pure speculation, a constant and delicate balance for government entities and the scientific community as they navigate public interest and scientific rigor. The long-term legacy of Project Serpo within ufology, regardless of its factual basis, is that it solidified the archetype of the secret exchange program and continues to serve as a benchmark for detailed, alleged inside information, constantly influencing subsequent claims of hidden government knowledge about alien life. Project Serpo, despite its unverified nature, casts a long shadow over public discourse, shaping beliefs, influencing industries, and challenging the fundamental relationship between citizens and their governments. It stands as a powerful testament to the enduring human desire to explore the unknown, even if that exploration leads into the captivating, yet unproven, realm of modern myth, and continues to fuel the persistent ufological quest for disclosure, a truth long sought but still elusive to verifiable confirmation. Project Serpo, while entirely unverified and considered by many to be an elaborate hoax, has nonetheless captivated a segment of ufology enthusiasts due to the intricate and often specific details woven into its narrative. These alleged elements, often blending scientific concepts with existing UFO lore, contribute to its enduring, albeit unproven appeal. The Serpo narrative posits that the EBEN's motivation for initiating the exchange program stemmed from a dwindling population on their home world. This purported empty nest syndrome or societal decline is presented as a significant driver for their interest in human biology and culture. The implication is that these extraterrestrials were perhaps seeking solutions to their own existential challenges, making their interest in humanity less about conquest and more about survival. This particular detail attempts to provide a sympathetic, if entirely unconfirmed, rationale for their alleged engagement with Earth, painting them not as invaders but as a species facing its own demographic crisis, prompting a unique form of interspecies diplomacy and a desperate search for biological or cultural insights to prevent their own extinction. For ufologists, this suggests a profound and unexpected vulnerability in an advanced alien civilization, prompting questions about the universal challenges of species survival. Beyond merely being a compendium of alien knowledge, a key document in the Serpo narrative is described as a holographic device capable of projecting actual scenes from prehistory to the present from universal history. This goes beyond simple data storage, suggesting an astonishing level of technological advancement that allows for a highly immersive, almost time-traveling educational experience. This remarkable artifact was allegedly a pivotal part of the information exchange, offering a comprehensive visual history of the cosmos, including the origins and development of various civilizations, not just the EBEN's own. This alleged object stands as a powerful symbol of the profound and comprehensive knowledge purportedly gained from the extraterrestrials, hinting at a technology that could revolutionize our understanding of existence, from cosmic evolution to the intricacies of alien societies, and potentially unlock secrets of the universe that remain far beyond human comprehension. The implications for ufologists are staggering, a direct conduit to cosmic history, potentially revealing the true nature of other interstellar visitors or even humanity's place in a grand galactic narrative. The narrative claims that the human team achieved a sophisticated understanding of EBEN communication, progressing beyond simple clicks and guttural sounds to eventual fluency in their language. This suggests a profound level of cultural immersion and adaptation on the part of the human contingent, highlighting their resilience and the extraterrestrials' alleged willingness to teach. The initial attempts at communication were reportedly challenging, involving complex tonal qualities and gestures, but the human team, through diligent effort and the EBEN's guidance, gradually deciphered their linguistic patterns, eventually conducting complex conversations and engaging in meaningful cultural exchanges. The narrative also includes accounts of the humans' initial struggles with the EBEN diet, which reportedly caused severe gastrointestinal issues until they adapted or the extraterrestrials found suitable alternatives. This detail underscores the profound biological differences between the species and the physiological challenges faced by the human explorers in an alien environment, requiring both biological and cultural adjustments, from managing digestive distress to understanding alien etiquette. For ufologists, this speaks to the extraordinary human capacity for adaptation in extreme circumstances and offers tantalizing glimpses into the practicalities and challenges of genuine interspecies interaction. In essence, Planet Serpo, located within a stellar system frequently referenced in UFO lore, is depicted as a challenging environment. It's described as having two suns, resulting in perpetual, oppressive light with no true night, only periods of dimming as one sun set and the other rose or dipped below the horizon. The continuous harsh illumination reportedly had a significant psychological impact on the human team, accustomed to Earth's diurnal cycle and the comforting rhythm of day and night. The heat was reportedly relentless, often exceeding 40 C, and the thinner atmosphere necessitated the use of specialized environmental suits for the human team to breathe and regulate their body temperature, adding a constant physical strain to their mission. The landscape is primarily characterized as barren and reddish, resembling a desert with minimal natural water sources, a stark contrast to Earth's diverse ecosystems. Despite this, the extraterrestrials are said to have utilized sophisticated underground water systems and cultivated food in enclosed, climate-controlled structures, demonstrating advanced environmental control that allowed them to thrive on an otherwise inhospitable world. The narrative also mentions strange, large, beast-like animals used by the EBENs for work, notably not consumed for meat, which reinforces the alleged agrarian and non-carnivorous nature of EBEN society, further differentiating their cultural practices from humanity's and suggesting a more harmonious relationship with their planet's fauna. Ufologists find these details compelling as they paint a vivid picture of an alien ecosystem and the unique adaptations required for life within it, aligning with theoretical exobiological considerations. The EBEN society is portrayed as highly communal and cooperative, notably lacking a formal, hierarchical government as humans understand it. Decisions were allegedly made collectively, almost through a form of group consciousness or shared understanding, achieved through a process that blended telepathic consensus with vocalized discussion, implying a deep level of empathy and unity within their species. Their society is characterized by an absence of crime, conflict, or individualistic pursuits of power or wealth, suggesting a highly evolved social cohesion where personal gain is secondary to the collective good and resources are shared equitably. This depiction often serves as a stark contrast to human societal norms, implicitly presenting the EBENs as a more advanced moral and social civilization, despite their purportedly less industrialized state in terms of outward technological display. Their infrastructure and daily lives were seemingly integrated with their biological and communal nature, rather than reliant on extensive machinery or complex political systems, emphasizing a focus on sustainable living and collective well-being. For ufologists, this ideal alien society challenges assumptions about power structures and societal evolution, offering a utopian vision of what an advanced civilization might achieve. The specific fates of the two astronauts who allegedly chose to remain on Serpo are a point of ongoing speculation among proponents. Some theories suggest they fully integrated into EBEN society, perhaps even finding a new sense of belonging or purpose within their communal structure, having been irrevocably changed by their experience. Others ponder whether a return to Earth would have been too difficult after 13 years in an alien environment and culture, perhaps experiencing profound psychological or physiological changes that made readaptation to human society untenable, leading them to opt for a permanent life on Serpo. The narrative also includes details of the 2 astronauts who reportedly died on Serpo, one succumbing to an accidental injury, such as a fall in the harsh terrain, and the other to environmental factors due to an undiagnosed condition exacerbated by the alien atmosphere, adding a layer of tragic realism and acknowledging the inherent dangers of such an unprecedented mission, making the human cost of interstellar exploration palpable. This element resonates deeply with ufologists, introducing a compelling human drama to the alien encounter narrative and prompting questions about the ultimate sacrifices made in the pursuit of extraterrestrial knowledge. Another significant detail is a substantial, highly detailed account summary of UFO investigations stretching from the late 1940s to the present, which is alleged to be continually updated every 5 years. This suggests an ongoing and deeply entrenched governmental intelligence operation dedicated to unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP, and extraterrestrial contact, far beyond the scope of a single exchange program. It also introduces a classification system for different alien species, implying a broader taxonomy of visitors known to intelligence agencies, each with their own unique characteristics, threat assessments, and documented interactions with Earth. This comprehensive record is presented as the ultimate classified resource, holding the culmination of decades of covert research and contact, hinting at a hidden history of humanity's interactions with multiple alien civilizations. For ufologists, this Red Book represents the holy grail of suppressed information, suggesting that governments possess a wealth of knowledge about alien visitors that remains hidden from the public. The alleged narrative often provides precise dates for key purported events, lending a sense of historical grounding, 1947 for a significant extraterrestrial incident, and the alleged capture of an alien whose communication eventually led to the exchange program, after initial skepticism and secrecy, 1962 for an American president allegedly approving the exchange program, a decision made in utmost secrecy due to the profound implications for national security and public understanding, July 16, 1965, for an alien spacecraft purportedly landing at a Nevada test site north of Las Vegas, and the carefully selected human team of 12 astronaut-trained military personnel departing for the distant planet, embarking on a journey that defied all conventional scientific understanding of space travel, 1978 for the remaining human team. 7 members died, 2 having chosen to stay, allegedly returning to Earth, bringing with them unprecedented knowledge and experiences, 1978 to 1984 for the intensive period of debriefings and isolation for the returnees, aimed at extracting all possible information while managing their psychological re-entry into Earth society after years on an alien world, and 2005 for the alleged details of this project beginning to surface, originating from anonymous sources, sparking public fascination, and igniting a new wave of UFO speculation. The specificity of these dates, while unproven, provides a temporal framework that allows ufologists to cross-reference with other alleged events in UFO history, seeking patterns and connections. The current status quo of Project Serpo remains firmly in the realm of unverified claims and ufological lore. Governmental bodies have never officially acknowledged the existence of such an exchange program. All purported documents and information associated with Project Serpo remain classified, according to the narrative itself. There has been no verifiable, independently corroborated evidence, such as official governmental records, physical artifacts, or credible witness testimonies from outside the anonymous sources, to substantiate the claims. The information has primarily circulated through online forums, email lists, and books written by proponents, often relying on the initial leaks from anonymous individuals who claimed inside knowledge. While these sources provide a detailed and compelling narrative, they lack the kind of empirical proof required for mainstream scientific or governmental acceptance. Skeptics largely dismiss Project Serpo as an elaborate work of fiction, a sophisticated hoax, or a modern myth, pointing to the absence of concrete evidence and the inherent unlikelihood of many of its claims, such as faster-than-light travel, given our current scientific understanding. Despite this official silence and lack of independent verification, the Project Serpo narrative continues to be a topic of discussion among UFO enthusiasts. It is often cited in discussions about alleged secret government programs involving extraterrestrial contact and is occasionally referenced in documentaries or podcasts exploring conspiracy theories. There are even discussions about potential science fiction adaptations, highlighting its enduring appeal as a compelling story, regardless of its factual basis. However, in any official or scientific capacity, Project Serpo is not recognized as a real event or program. It remains a persistent, detailed, and fascinating piece of modern folklore within the broader UFO phenomenon, sustained by its narrative complexity rather than concrete evidence, feeding the ongoing speculation about what our governments truly know about life beyond Earth.